Hey y'all, it's your girl Kitty Cat, and here on my channel you can find beauty advice and lifestyle. Today's video is inspired by one of your comments. This comment was left on my Dating People with Kids video. If you are a single out there and you're thinking about opening up your dating pool to people with kids, check out the video. This comment was left under that video and it's pretty loaded, but I thought it was a pretty good question. What's your thoughts on today's standard of dating? How do you feel about the roles that have switched, like men are more feminine and women are more masculine? Let's break it down. Today's standards are, there are no standards, and that's the problem. That's the issue. There are no standards. It's great that we live in an era right now where there are no rules and we can make our own rules, and I think there's a lot of power in that, and I encourage you all to make your own rules and your own standards when it comes to relationships. But you have to also know that certain rules and certain standards, you're going to get certain results from that. If you put your standards high, you will date people that hold those high standards just like you. If your standards are low, you're probably going to settle and date someone even lower than what your standards are. Our society is not designed for people to thrive. They're really not. Like, we work these 40-hour, maybe even more work weeks. We don't take breaks. We don't take real vacations. We don't take time to rest. We don't take time to reflect. We're overworked. We don't take time to connect with ourselves. We don't take time to connect with nature. So if you don't take time to relax and really be the best you that you can be, how are you going to date anybody? We live the busiest lives, especially here in the United States. So if you're so busy, how do you really even have time for anybody? I mean, you make time, but it's almost kind of like when you get a pet and you're too busy for the pet. It's kind of like really messed up to them because they're home all the time wanting to play with you and wanting your company, but you're too busy. Everything today is so fast paced, from fast food to fast fashion and fast dating. I think dating is not any exception to anything else that's fast paced in our life. The issue with being fast paced when you're dating is often people rush into things that they don't even really realize what they're rushing into. They just want to be loved by someone else so badly, or they don't want to be alone, or for whatever reason they want to be in a relationship so bad, they want to date so bad that they rush in. And the problem with that is a lot of people fall in love, right? They fall in love, and falling in love is not always a great thing. Everyone always is like, oh my gosh, falling in love. And falling in love is actually really dangerous. Falling isn't good. People are not walking into love. They're just falling into love. When you walk into love, you are conscious about it. You are intentional about it. They rush in too fast, and when you rush into things too fast, you don't read all of the terms and conditions. Another thing that I would attribute today's standard of dating is we don't pay attention to the red flags. We should be leaving after like 2 or 3 red flags. 3 is almost like too much. Like 2 is like, oh, first time, second time, I'm out. By the time you get to flag, 48, you're like emotionally drained, exhausted, traumatized, gone through way too many things that maybe you shouldn't have gone through because you decided to stay there because you didn't want to be alone, or you didn't think you would find love again, or financially you just couldn't do it. Not leaving when you see the red flags, rushing in too fast, and our overall busy, go lifestyle. I'm going to answer the second part of the question. How do you feel about the roles that have switched? Like, men are more feminine and women are more masculine. I totally agree with that. I think men are a lot more feminine, and I don't think there's anything wrong with embracing what you have inside of you. All of us are made up of feminine and masculine energy. When it comes to dating, that has changed so much. Gender roles have changed a lot, so I think that really changes the way that relationships work. But the issue is there's not a balance. There's not enough balance. It's either someone's either doing too much or someone's not doing enough. For example, with the whole paying, you go on a date with a guy and they don't always want to pay for you, I guess. I've been on dates where I've either like been expected to pay for everything or I pay my own. I understand, you know, where men are coming from of like they don't want to get scammed, because there are a lot of girls out there who use men for dates and for food and stuff like that. But at some point as a man, you have to decide of like, do I actually have a connection with this person? Does this person actually like me? If you're begging them to go on a date with you, probably a red flag. They don't want to go on a date with you, and they're going to go on a date with you just for food. Being a woman is really expensive. Y'all know that. Makeup is expensive, hair is expensive, outfits, nails, our skincare, our time of the month products. When we got to go to the doctor because, you know, y'all don't have good stuff and we had a yeast infection. Being a woman is really expensive. And it's almost like a slap in the face when a man doesn't want to pay for the date. It's like, okay, literally all the makeup on my face is well over $300. If I calculated my whole outfit, like from head to toe, it would be way more than what this meal or what this date even costs in most cases. So it's just kind of messed up. It's like I did all this to get ready, and it's a lot of upkeep as a woman. I don't know if men don't want to pay because they're afraid of getting scammed, or if they don't want to pay because they just financially cannot afford it. If you financially can't afford to date, then you shouldn't date. Because honestly, when you pay for dates, when you go on dates and you pay for the dates for a woman, it makes the woman feel like, okay, like he's financially stable enough that he can buy her Chili's tonight or whatever, you know? And it's really telling if you go on a date and they don't want to pay for you, or they want you to go half. It's like, like, does he not really like me that much, or what's the deal? Where maybe women are a little too masculine, we take on the masculine role so willingly. It's like we want love so bad, we want to nurture them so bad that we end up paying their bills and driving them to go hang out with their friends, and you know, and it's like, why am I doing this? We're like putting ourselves in a masculine role when that's not our job. You know what I'm saying? That's not our job. But I also think as women, at the end of the day, like a lot of dating rules like come down to your standards, what you're willing to accept, what you're not willing to accept. What are your thoughts on today's standard of dating? Do you feel like men have become more feminine? Do you think women have become more masculine? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.